Hello, folks. It's Two Sheds Gabby, and it is time for a penny search. I'm hoping to do 2 boxes. It is, oh goodness, it's a quarter till 8. We won't get near done tonight. I had a box from last week and a box from this week, and this is the box from this week. But the box I just opened it from last week. They're all 2023s, so there's no hunt there. So I'll grab the other box from this week. And depending on how the first box goes, I'll do, if it's kind of slow like my nickels were, I'll do the second box of pennies. If I'm just finding a lot of stuff, which would be great, and it's just taking a lot of time, we'll just do the 1 box because, boy, 2 boxes with a lot of stuff could get to over an hour, and I don't want to do that. And we'll just see how it goes, and hopefully we'll find good stuff, and we'll have things to talk about. And let's get started. Well, folks, I'm in the 6th row now, and I find my second Canadian penny, but it's my first Canadian copper penny. It's a 1968. That's the ones I like the best. So, if I do 2 boxes, I'm just not getting as much as I was, so I'm hoping to get at least 5 pounds of copper out of 2 boxes, which I think I will. 6 pounds would be great. I'd like to get 10 wheat pennies per box, but I haven't been getting that lately, even though I've got some people telling me they're finding lots, but it ain't me. And I'm hoping to find like 17 or 18 Indian head pennies. Maybe 1 again someday. I've only found 2 coin roll hunting. It'd be amazing to get another one. Oh. I was keeping all the 2024s, but now I'm just looking for the... I've got a whole bunch of 2024s set aside, the Philadelphias, but I need a bunch of the Ds because I'm going to try again to sell I'll sell 2 rolls at a time, 1 P and 1 D. And the last time I did it, it sold. I made $1 or 2, and I thought I'd try it again. But I have a whole bunch of 2024 Ps, so I'm not looking for those this time around. Well, I'm in roll number 9, and I have found my first wheat penny, the ultra rare 1957D. Wheatie number 1. We went out to Texas Roadhouse for a steak tonight. I'll fill you in more on why we did that in a little while. Well, the very next row, we come to our second copper Canadian penny, and it is a 12-sided variety, 1985. My wife has taken on a job painting, basically, for my brother's sister's father, my brother's wife's father, and he is going to lease his house out to my brother's daughter. And so they've lived in the house, they had lived in the house for over 20 years, 82. And they just wanted to get all painted and everything. They got an estimate, and it was pretty high. And so they asked my wife if she would do it for less, and she said yes. It's still a pretty good chunk of money. 82 again. But now she's over there, and it turns out she has to do lots more cleaning. You can't paint walls if they're not clean. So she's got a lot of cleaning and lots of repairs to do. There's holes in walls, nails coming through the plaster or drywall, whatever. And so she just it's just a bigger job than she kind of anticipated. They are aware of it, and they said they would add a little bit of compensation to that. But they don't have a clue just how much she has to do. She doesn't want to tell. But she's just really tired, and she just barely getting into it. She's got a long way to go. And so she called today and she goes, I think I am just done. And I said, well, would you be interested in a steak dinner? She goes, oh my goodness, yes. She didn't eat any lunch. I made myself a smash burger today. And so I wasn't real hungry. So I got a little steak. I ate my salad and my little steak. I didn't even eat my baked potato. And I got her a great big prime rib. She loves that prime rib, man. She likes it medium, and she loves putting horseradish on it. Really hot horseradish. I'm in the 15th roll now, and here is my third Canadian copper penny. Oh, this is 1980, so I've got now one from each weight class. The 53 to 79, 80 and 81, and the 82 to 96. So I was out again today working on my shed. I just have tons of work to do out there. It's not just arranging. I've got 628 things listed on eBay. So I think I'm through all of those, and I was taking things off, and if they were priced out, some equipment, for these factories, it just gets to where the stuff is not valuable anymore. So some of it holds its value really well, and some of it don't. And so some items, I just take them off, and if it's just a lot of metal, I'll just scrap it. But if it's a lot of electronics, then we'll break it down and see what, get the copper and hope maybe the gold fingers and different things like that. My friend that brought me the coins this week and last week, he took a big load of the electronics, and he's going to start breaking it down at his place. And we don't have all the details worked out, but we basically said whatever we get out of it, we'll just split it. And there's a lot of gold fingers on some of this stuff. There's one that'll go into my little jar that I'm going to melt one of these days. Anyway, as I'm going through the stuff in the shed, I realize there's a lot of boxes of stuff that I haven't gone through and priced and listed yet, just because it was all in the move, and I didn't realize that there's so much more that I hadn't got to. So that's what I was doing today, was going through stuff and getting it listed, getting it up on shelves, so that I can. My goal is to have it all organized and hopefully sell more, make more money, and also to give myself more room. I put my stuff up. I mark it A, B, C, D, and E, and on these great big metal shelves. And I've decided to take one of them out. I've condensed everything pretty good, and I'm going to take one of the shelves out so that I can have more room for my hobby stuff once I get all that done. And that metal shelf will work into my other shed, what we call the she shed. We got the he shed and the she shed, and it'll go into the she shed. Here is the 16th row, and here's wheat penny number 2. It's a 1951D. Cool beans. Someone told me about a coin show that is up in Indiana tomorrow that I was really hoping I might be able to make, but my wife is going to be using the car again to go work on the other house tomorrow, so I'm just going to work on my shed some more and probably finish up these boxes, because I don't think I'll finish tonight. The money is going to be nice, helping pay for some of the things we're getting done, but the timing's not great because spring is just coming on. We had lots of plans for things to do, plus We were hoping to help my mom with her little garden, but my mom just checked it today and said the ground is still too wet. Her little plot is kind of low, and so it catches the water. I'm going to have to add dirt to it and build it up a little bit because it's just too low. And I've seen water stand in it, and that's not good. But I bought this this Ryobi tiller so that I wouldn't have to pull the string. I hate that. And I haven't even had a chance to use it once yet. I hope it performs well enough. Her little garden's been tilled every year, so it should be fine. I've got a bunch of leaves that are bagged up that I'm going to try to work in a bunch of it over time. This just happens to be the last row in the first half of the first box, if indeed we do 2 boxes. It is a 1989 Canadian copper 12-sided 2.5 gram penny. 98% copper. All right, that's four copper. Oh, I also have 2 now non-copper Canadian, but we're still just at 2 wheat pennies. I feel like the quality of my hunts has gone down recently. And, you know, I do take most of my pennies to different banks, but that doesn't mean they're not all going to the same, you know, they're probably all going to Brinks and getting reshuffled and sent back out. And I just need to, we've got so much going on. I just can't seem to get out of town these days. I need to go to, there's an S coin, not very good looking, but I need to go a state or 2 over, call ahead, get 10 or 15 boxes of pennies ordered and try my hand at some different areas. Could be just as bad or worse, but I won't know till I try. Here is my third Wheatie. It's a 1951 Philadelphia. I'm in the 4th row now in the second half of this box. We've only found 3, and so if this keeps up, it'll be, you know, 5 or 6. It's a pretty good looking penny. Yeah, guys, I think I'm just seeing less copper. I don't know that it's just a regional thing or if it's just a natural phenomenon. With more pennies coming out and more people hoarding, you just start finding less, just like the silver. After a while, you just start finding less. And I don't know. I hope that's not the only answer, but it's definitely been seeing that in my area here. And so, you know, it could just be a regional thing. And are the bugs out already? I've got pretty good lights on in this room, and I think I'm hearing bugs tapping on the window outside going, hey, let me in. You've got light in there. 82. Is that another Canadian? It certainly is. 1980. Oh, another one of those. 1980. Cool. I like my Canadian copper pennies for some reason. I guess because they're 90%. And I'd love to search a box of Canadian pennies for the copper. Oh, man. It seems like you'd get so much. The copper went till 96 and they quit making them in 2012. It seems like a huge percentage would be copper. 10th row in the second half, and here is wheat penny number 4. 1942, Philadelphia. First one in the 40s in this box. I'm getting a halfway decent little stack of 24Ds. I think I'll probably, by the time I'm done, I think I'll have enough to get a roll of each put together and list them on eBay. Right at the end of the 12th row, I get another Canadian copper. Looks like an older one. Yeah, 1964. Woohoo! In the 13th row, I found a pretty nice 2009. I found one other one, but it wasn't quite this nice. It's got a little bit of issues over here, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm supposed to be going to see family and talk with the guy that I sell for in a week or two. So I think I'm going to call some banks, or a bank at least, over in that direction and see if I can order some coins for when I head over there. See if I can find something else. Now there's just 9 rows to go in this box, and here is my 7th Canadian copper. This is the 12-sided one, 1987. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but copper went back up this week. Not a ton. Last week, we were looking at copper pennies valuing around 2.6, I think up to 2.67, and today it is 2.72 cents each in value. It's back up. It had dropped below $4 a pound, and it's back over $4 a pound now. If you was to take these boxes here and fill them up, you get about 15 pounds. And if you sell them for $4 a pound, that'd be $60 a box. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, is it? Not at these prices. Just 4 more rows to go, folks. And here is weeding number 5, a 1944 Philadelphia. So me and my wife are talking, and we think next Monday we're going to go back onto the low-carb diet. We've just we eat healthy most of the time. But we eat too many carbs. But I tell you, we check the ingredients on things. We eat. Oh, look at there, 1951 San Francisco. All right. Well, that was nice. Nice little bonus, number 6. One row to go, folks, and here is my 8th copper Canadian. Oh, it's one of the Centennials, 1867 to 1967. Well, that's cool. After this 82, after this next row, I'll weigh those 82s, and we'll see how close we got to that 3 pounds that I like to get. We filter our water. We check the ingredients, looking for the processed stuff that we try to stay away from. There's no seed oils in the house other than something that's packaged that we haven't gotten rid of yet. We never buy seed oil. All right, folks, here's the moment of truth. I have to tell you, I did better than I thought. I had lots of rows that only had 3 or 4 coppers, but I guess I had way more that had well over the 9 that I even realized. Because, that's over 3 pounds. I believe it is. Yeah, it's right at 3 pounds. It's really close. It's better than I thought. Let's say that. And we ended up with, what, 6 wheat pennies? Yeah, so, not fantastic, but several of the copper. Okay, better than I expected. I tell you what, it's 11:15. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to go ahead and get this next box started tomorrow morning. Well, good morning, folks. It is 10 minutes till 10 a.m. here in the Louisville metropolitan area, and I'm getting ready to get started on the second box of pennies. I was surprised when I weighed the copper last night. I really felt like it wasn't going to be that good, but there must have been more rolls that had a lot in it that surprised me because I had so many rolls that didn't have many. My wife and I went to Texas Roadhouse last night when she got back, and they gave us a couple of bags of these peanuts here. So this morning, after my wife left to go do her job, I went out in the backyard, and me and the squirrels had a bag of one of the bags of peanuts. I don't even know if they know it yet, but they're left out there for them. Let's get started and see if the second box can get me 3 pounds of copper and maybe even 7 wheat pennies instead of 6. Well, in the first row, I come to my first Canadian copper penny, 1981. This is the middle weight, the 80 and the 81. I have them broken down here. Oh, the shadows on my mat, 53 to 79, the 80 and 81, and the 82 to 96. The sun coming in the window here. It's already getting hot in here. I'm going to have to go turn the fan on. They built this house in 62, and for whatever reason, this is the living room. They didn't think it was a good idea to put a light in the center of the room, on the ceiling. And so now if we want a ceiling fan put in, it's going to cost considerably more because they'll have to run electricity over there. Well, this lighting is it's really messing with me here. Big time. I may have to change up some things. I may have to close my blinds. But I like the light. The sunlight's kind of working against me here. I'm trying to figure out what angle to come in. I'm a southpaw, so that it'd be a real headache to try to move everything around and come in from the other side. But I think it'd be extra dark then. At the very end of that row was a pretty nice 71 San Francisco. Okay, let's see if we can see here. I've changed lighting just a little bit, and I think as the sun moves, it's going to help things. But hopefully you can see this just fine. To me, it doesn't look that clear, but in the video, it may look real clear. I don't know. But anyway, here is our second Canadian copper penny. Oh, it's another one of these centennials. Cool. If you see me go past some 83s, it's because you can just tell by looking at them. But the ones that are questionable to me, I'll weigh them. Probably shouldn't, because I know I'll never find one. Oh, man. That's 78. That's a copper one. And that's 77. That's a copper one. This is the work our contractor's been doing, all this underpinning and putting in new gutters. He also put these columns in for us. He'd already replaced our windows earlier. I guess it was last year. And we had sliding doors over there, and he put in that door and a big window. It's looking fantastic out here. We're so excited. We thought we were going to get out this spring and try to make repairs and scrape and paint, and then probably have somebody else put gutters in. But we're like, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's get it done right once and for all. So that's what we've done. He's going to be here in a little while to finish up and probably wants some money. We went to the bank yesterday and got out a bunch of money. I hope I got a little bit overkill here. But, it's going to be close because he gave us a price plus incidentals. And so, he didn't know how much wood he'd have to replace and how long it'd take to replace it. I don't think it was much, but I believe the price will be a little bit over what he quoted because he'd had to do a little bit of that. But it was kind of cool. We were going through the bills and we did find a star note. That's pretty neat. I like finding those. This one's not rare, but it's still fun finding them. Well, I'm in the fifth row, guys, and here is my third Canadian copper, a 1987 12-sided. No Wheaties yet. They told us we were going to get rain and some mild storms today, but so far it all looks like it's going north of the Ohio up into Indiana, but it may develop here yet. See, now there's one that I'd weigh. Did you hear the zinc? Well, here at the end of the seventh row, I get wheat penny number 1. That's a welcoming sight, 1941, Philadelphia. Very nice. The other day, 82, I was talking about these cards that we got when we were kids. And they might have been stickers. You know, you get a little pack of them for a nickel, I guess it probably was. And they were gruesome figures, but funny at the same time. And I can't remember what they're called, and I so badly just want to contact my brother and say, hey, what were those? But he passed away a few years ago, and I really miss him. A few of you have said Garbage Pail Kids, but those weren't until the mid-'80s. We're talking the late 60s here. Well, guys, I'm in the 11th row, and here's my second Wheatie. I believe that, yep, 1948, Philadelphia. Both of them in the 40s that I have found. There's an 83. I'll weigh that here in just a second. My contractor's here. He's going to get the guttering all finished today, but he can't put the gutter guard up because it's not in. He's got to wait the midweek. Here is a 1948 Philadelphia wheat penny, number 3. This is the 14th row in the box. Not bad. Have y'all heard of the word fortnight? British term, I guess. Fortnight. It means 2 weeks. I don't like saying 2 weeks. I need to come up with another word besides the word 2 weeks. I just don't like saying 2 weeks. I went and looked up what it actually came from. It's a little bit interesting, but it's just funny to me that we can't just say 2 weeks. But I'll post this information about it here. Well, I'll just throw it up right here. I'm now in the 18th row in the first half, and here is another Canadian copper penny, 81. Second of those. I just had to clean my magnifier glass. It was filthy. I am terrible about waiting too long to clean things. Like my glass, I just got new glasses, and I actually got 2 pair. They had a special, so I paid for the second pair. But both of the bifocals are just a little bit smaller than I want, and my wife's like, take them back, take them back. And I guess I probably should. It's just the getting around to it is the part I hate. But yesterday, I tried on the second pair. Well, I mean, I tried them on at the place, but I put them on to wear them for the first time. And we were at the restaurant, and I couldn't hardly see. And I took them off and handed them to her. She goes, how in the world do you get them so filthy in a half a day? I'm like, I don't know what I do. But they were terrible. Oh, I just don't know. I guess I just handle them a lot or something. I don't know. But they were just spotty and greasy. And that's what my magnifier was. I was looking at these coins. It's like, I can't tell what that is. It's because it was filthy. 21st row in the first half. And here's another Canadian copper, 1972. Well, the Canadians have showed back, Canadian pennies have showed back up. I went for several boxes where I wasn't hardly finding any, and now here they are again, 82. Copper has not changed any price today. It's the same as yesterday. Well, it's Saturday, of course. The market's closed. That makes sense. Didn't even think of that until I just said, oh, I see a wheat penny right there, folks. Cool beans. What do we have? Probably our first one in the 50s. Yep, 56D. That's Wheatie number 4. I like seeing that. 80. See, there's an 83. You're almost sure that's zinc, but I'll weigh it here in just a second. You know, I talk about going to different places to get coin, and it is fun to do that, but I was thinking just here in this year, I've made several trips to Indiana. I've picked up boxes of pennies, and, you know, I don't think they've been as good as the ones I get here at home, so I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'll just, until I get to another town, I'll just keep going through these, and we'll get what we get. Now I'm in the 22nd row in this first half. And here is another Canadian copper, another 12-sided, 1988. So I'm getting quite a few of these copper Canadians. That's pretty cool. There's a little, 82. There's a little bitty town in Indiana. It's, I guess you'd call it central. I don't know. But it's a little town called Kingman. And it's tiny little town of, it says 500 people, but it don't seem that big when you drive through it. And it's just, I guess there's a couple little off-roads to go to houses, but it's one little road, mainly it just goes right through the little town. There's a little, I don't know, gift shop type thing. But there's 2 banks on the right next to each other. And one of them happens to be a bank that I have an account with, because they've just got little banks all over the place up there. And so I have been through there a few times, and I've gone into both banks. And each of those banks, I have at times asked if they had any $50. And they did, you know, anywhere from $20 to $50 or $60 worth. And I have gotten silver from both of those little branches, and that was pretty fun. Pretty fun. But I've been through there a few times and asked, and they had nothing. but you know, you take your chance, and that was really cool. Kingman, Indiana. 23rd row, and here's wheat penny number 5. That's very cool. 1955, Philadelphia. Cool. One time I was in Florida, and I bought a, let me weigh that guy. I bought a box of $50. I can't remember if it's some I ordered. I think it was. But I got into it, and there was a whole bunch of 40% silvers in it. And every one of them felt like they were salty, like maybe they had been, like there's ocean, like they'd been in ocean water, like maybe they were in somebody's house, and I don't know, but they were real dry, white, salty. It was weird. It was welcome. I was happy to find them, but they felt really weird. Think. Well, I'm now in the 4th row in the second half of this box, and here is wheat penny number 6. That's how many I got in the last box, 1956 Philly. So I feel like I have a chance of beating the last box, which is cool. Oh, I finally got together enough 24Ds, so there's a roll of Ds and Ps, and I'll try to get those listed here in a bit. Hopefully they still list, and hopefully they still sell. If they do, I'll do it again. I don't make much, but it's fun to make a buck or two even. I need to order a whole bunch of $2 bills again to see. A few times back when I ordered them, it was like they were almost all sequential. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of, I guess it was 1,000 $2 bills that was all sequential. But out of those, I got 4 or 5, I think, that were really cool binary or serial numbers, and I sold them for combined over $100. That was neat. And then the last time I bought $2 bills, it wasn't in good condition, but I got a were the red certificates? Was that a silver certificate? And that was fun. Here in the 8th row in the second half, I find a pretty nice commemorative. This is my 5th one, but this is the nicest. There's a little gumpy something there, but it's a pretty nice coin. Definitely the nicest of the 5 I have found. I think I'm even going to do better with the copper of this box than the last box, 82. Even after all the complaining, I apologize about the complaining. I really didn't think I was going to have close to 3 pounds, and I did. Well, we did it, folks. Here is a 1952D wheat penny number 7. We beat the last box. That's a good thing. 7th Wheatie. I've still got tons of the 2024 P's aside, probably over 100, so I'm going to keep gathering the D's so I can have another row of each ready in case this one sells. Last Wednesday night at Bible study, I thought, I try to prepare plenty ahead of time. And, hours and hours of getting stuff written down and preparing. And it all went by so fast. Like, oh my, right at the end of class, I was at the end of my prepared material. I'm like, ugh, well, that was a close call. So I've got to really buckle down the next several days and get 82. I don't want that to happen again, and I certainly don't want to have time left in my class and be at the end of my material. Will manage, but I won't like it at all. I'll be crunchy, real crunchy. There just wasn't as many comments made this last Wednesday, and so you just move right through the material a lot faster. And it's just the way it goes sometimes. We're in the book of Genesis, and I try to talk a lot about, the whole Bible, all the Old Testament. It's really preparing the way for Christ. That's what the whole book is about. Guys, look at this. At the end of the 14th row in the second half, we get a King George. All right, I love finding these guys. 1951. Fabuloso. That's nice. That's so fun finding those. King George. Cool beans. I've got one in every one of my slots on the Canadian coins. Cool. $82. Just 2 rows left in the box, guys. But here is wheat penny number 8. This looks like a nice one. Might not be old, but it's a nice one. 50. Is that a 3 or 7? 57D. Is there something wrong with that 7? I'm gonna have to take a look at that one. 2 rows to go. Then we'll weigh the 82s and then see how much copper I found in this box. I'd say this is a pretty good box here. We got so far only 8 wheat pennies, but that's better than the last box. Another two. I got a lot of 2009s in this box. We got us a King George, several Canadian copper. Pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm over the 3 pounds. Well, there's 3 nasty zincs in a row. I did get a couple of Canadian non-copper in this box too. Oh, I believe that's, yeah boy. Look, that number 9, 51D. All right. Man, maybe we'll get another Wheatie out of these last 2 rows and we'll get our 10. Well, we're right at the end of the last row and we do find another Canadian. It is a 1974. Quite a few of those copper Canadians. Don't look like we're going to get our 10, though. That's all right. 9 is not bad. We'll weigh that one real quick. Zinc. All right, folks. Let me weigh these 82s, and then we'll come back, and we'll see how much copper we got. Well, folks, here's the moment of truth. We got our 9 wheat pennies, and we got us a King George. Pretty cool. I think we've got our 3 pounds, too. Oh, yeah. That's enough to give us 6 pounds for the 2 boxes. That's pretty doggone good, I tell you. I'm pretty pleased. I'm going to get all these put away in my box that I'm putting together for my next 15 pounds. And I guess my next hunt will be probably a box of nickels. I hope you'll join me. And you guys have a great day. Catch you later.